and he dominated by taking 9 shots. He took 9 shots in a game that his team scored 125 points on the road. Like, I can't really pay a greater compliment than that. And if you watch this game, he controlled the entire tempo of the game, the entire time the Nuggets had the ball. It was another masterpiece.
We just watched a superstar win a road game while barely shooting the ball. 9 shots. On the night his team put up 125 points. Who does that? That's not normal star behavior, that's I control everything without looking like I'm trying behavior. And if you watch that Memphis game or this whole Nuggets stretch, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Tried to talk to the other official, he said no.
Jokic! Got it!
Denver isn't squeaking by. They're calmly walking into other people's arenas, dictating pace for 48 minutes and walking out with another win like it's a grocery run. 6 straight wins away from home. Wins over Houston, Minnesota, Memphis. A bench that finally looks like a weapon. And a 4th-year wing quietly posting the best offensive rating in the entire league. If you still think this is the same old top-heavy, pray Jokic saves us Nuggets team, you haven't been paying attention. This version of Denver is different. They're deeper, nastier, and way more built for a long season than people expected. And the scary part? We might be watching the best version of Jokic ever, with the least he's ever had to force. But before we start, here's the truth. 9 out of 10 of you are watching without subscribing. If you love basketball, why not fix that right now? Join the NBA Inside family and let's go through the season side by side. And if you watched what he did against Portland, you saw it again. Even on a night Denver didn't lean on him for volume, he walked out with 21 points on 10 shots, 9 assists, 10 boards, and never looked rushed. He went 7 of 10 from the field, hit his only 3, hit 6 of 8 at the line, and once again controlled the entire pace without hijacking the offense.
It's wide of the rim. It's grabbed by Jokic, leaking out as Watson repairs after him. He'll lay it up and in.
Every touch felt like a setup. He held the ball, delayed half a beat, pulled help with a shoulder fake, then fired skip passes before defenses even finished rotating. You watch it and think he's coasting, and then you look up and he's a bucket, an assist, or a steal away from deciding every possession. It wasn't a loud 21. It was him whispering his way through Portland's defense, tilting the floor with timing instead of force. Even in a high-tempo shootout on the road against San Antonio, where Denver still put up 136, he stayed in full control without ever chasing volume. 21 points on 10 shots, 9 assists, 10 boards, and still looked like the calmest player on the floor. He went 7 of 10 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, 6 of 8 at the line, all while letting the action come to him. No forcing, no over-dribbling, just tilting the court possession by possession. Denver shot 53% overall and 41% from deep, and so many of those clean looks were born from him slowing the game down with a half-a-second delay, a subtle shoulder fake, pulling help and firing to shooters before the rotation even formed. It didn't read like a superstar takeover, it read like quiet control. The kind where you check the box score and realize he was 1 rebound and 1 assist away from another triple-double without ever hijacking the offense. Even in a loss, the game moved at his tempo, not San Antonio's. And then there's the streak. 6 straight road wins. This is where things start to get sneaky dangerous. You're not supposed to beat good teams comfortably on their floor while your rotation is banged up. But Denver is doing exactly that. They're not perfect, but you can see the habits. Organized offense, fewer panic possessions, and no more Jokic sits, disaster happens minutes. For the first time in years, the Nuggets don't feel fragile. They feel sustainable. And a huge part of that is a guy who, a year ago, was a maybe one-day project, Peyton Watson.
Blocked by Watson. Ahead to Watson. Slam dunk! Watson, nobody guarding him, and he dunks it. Here's to Watson, and Watson puts it away. But under a slow-mo on his shot. Peyton Watson again.
This isn't the same Denver Nuggets you remember. Christian Braun goes down. nobody panics. Watson steps into the starting lineup like he's been there since Halloween. Jokic keeps stacking triple-doubles like it's a side quest. Jamal Murray looks like Bubble Murray with better decision-making. And around them, the bench is not only holding leads, they're stretching them. Watson has been locking up elite scorers, taking primary possessions on wings like Kevin Durant and Paul George, while also tracking guards like De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Maxey. In transition, he's detonating with dunks and chase down blocks, including game-saving rejections like the one on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He guards point guards, wings, even smaller fours, and still arrives as weak side help to erase layups, already ranking among the league's best non-center rim protectors. For the first time in the Jokic era, Denver looks deeper than the teams trying to hurt them. That's a problem for the rest of the West. Now here's what almost nobody had on their bingo card. Peyton Watson, 4th year, suddenly leading the entire league in offensive rating. Right now, Watson sits at around 126.9 offensive rating. Jokic, 126.8. You heard that right. The dude who used to hesitate on every catch is now technically the most efficient offensive weapon in basketball by the numbers. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging around 17.6 points, 7.4 boards, and hitting nearly 60% of his threes. That's not nice role player stuff, that's this changes the math on the whole roster stuff. And it didn't come out of nowhere. He spent the offseason rebuilding his jumper from scratch. New base, new release, reps on reps. Now it's showing up in live games. Against Memphis, he put up 27 with 5 threes. Against New Orleans, he exploded for a career-high 32 and 12 boards. But if you only look at the numbers, you'll miss what really changed. Watch him now. He's not catching and thinking, he's catching and deciding. He's hunting matchups, attacking closeouts, cutting hard when help turns its head. Last year, he'd catch it on the wing and you could almost see the thought bubble, is this my shot? Should I swing it? Should I drive? By the time he chose, the defense had already reset. Now, the ball touches his hands and you know something's happening. Shots going up, lane is getting attacked, someone's getting pressured.
Give it to Jokic. Jokic to Watson, and Watson puts it away.
That's confidence. And confidence on top of elite tools is where you get breakout years. Because all the physical stuff was always there. Elite length, quick first step, nasty timing as a help side shot blocker. He might already be one of the best non-center rim protectors in the league. You can stick him on guards, wings, even smaller fours, and he'll buzzer all of them. That's rare. But in today's NBA, if you can't shoot, none of that matters in the playoffs. Teams will park a defender in the paint, ignore you on the perimeter, and choke your offense. Watson flipping the shooting question from uh-oh to go ahead and leave him if you want changes everything. You stick him next to Jokic, and all those wide open corners and slot threes that used to feel like coin flips, now they feel like punishment. And it's not just the numbers, you can feel the trust. Denver's coaches love him defensively. Now he's earning minutes with offense too. He's turning into that wing every contender desperately needs. Guard the other team's best perimeter player, then stand in the corner and make them pay for collapsing. For years, everyone knew the dirty secret. The Nuggets bench was bad. Like everyone in the arena feels the energy disappear when Jokic sits bad. Leads evaporated. Offense turned into isolation junk. You saw the pattern in every playoff run. This season, still not perfect, but it's different. Right now, Denver's bench ranks middle of the pack with a net rating around -1.5. You might hear that and go, wait, that's not good. But last season, they were 25th. Around -11.6. That's a 10-point swing in backup production. That's huge. And the biggest reason isn't some magical system change. It's personnel. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been exactly what they needed. Veteran shooter, no ego, knows why he's out there. He's giving them around 11 points a night off the bench, stretches the floor, and doesn't need touches scripted for him. When he gets hot, those random 6 or 7 minute stretches flip games. You know those nights where you look up and suddenly, the lead went up from +3 to +14? That's what microwave scoring does. He also provides secondary playmaking, enough to keep actions alive when initial options die without needing to run full possessions through him.
Jones has it. Someone make a bucket for me. Hardaway for three. Yeah!
He's not out there trying to be a playmaker. He's doing three things: catch and shoot, attack over aggressive closeouts, and survive on defense. Simple basketball that ages well. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas, best backup big of the Jokic era. Not even close. In past years when Jokic sat, Denver's offense turned into, I hope somebody makes a shot. There was no stabilizing hub, no one you can throw it to and let the possession breathe. Now, they can actually play through their second unit. Valanciunas scores on the block. He rebounds like a maniac. He sets brutal screens. He demands at least some attention from defenses. That alone keeps the structure of their offense intact. During his minutes, Denver's offensive rebounding has jumped as high as 29%, and he's anchoring possessions with physicality that used to vanish without Jokic. Defensively, he's not elite, but he's sound. He's in the right spot. He contests. He doesn't kill you with wild gambles. That's all you need from a backup big when your starter is Nikola Jokic. And then there's the reunion. Bruce Brown. Back in the system, back doing Bruce Brown things, cutting behind ball-watching defenders, pushing in transition, guarding whoever's annoying. You can feel the second unit's IQ go up when he's on the floor. For the first time in a long time, Denver's bench has an identity. The lineups make sense. The roles make sense. The ball is moving. You don't feel that, oh no, here comes the non-Jokic stretch anxiety every time he sits. That's how you protect your superstar's legs for May and June. Speaking of shooters finally settling in, Cam Johnson. He started the season tight, shot short, rushed mechanics, clearly pressing with a new team and system. But over the last 5 games, he's around 16 a night and hitting nearly 60% from deep. The defense was always there. Now the jumpers caught up. Denver uses them perfectly. Jokic draws 2, Murray collapses, help rotates, and Johnson is waiting. Corner, wing, slot. Doesn't need the ball. Close out too hard, then he'll dribble into mid-range or swing it. Ideal low-maintenance, high-impact wing.
Out to Cam. He sets. He fires. He gets the triple.
He's thriving on catch and shoot threes, over 40% overall and 42% wide open, and ranks in the 81st percentile on spot-up scoring. He'll flow off pin downs, stagger screens, even ghost screens, and when he dribbles once or twice into a pull-up, defenders get caught flat-footed. Now, the other engine, Jamal Murray. Every year we say, if he's healthy, this season he's answering with, watch this. Around 23.2 points, 6.8 assists, and 4.6 boards, all career highs. The burst is back. He's snaking pick and rolls, pulling up with no hesitation. Go under the Jokic screen, he rises up. Fight over, he attacks. Against Memphis, he dropped 29 and owned the 4th. He's running pick and rolls with Jokic at peak efficiency, controlling tempo better than he ever has. Statistically, this is the best start of his career. Healthy Murray plus peak Jokic is still unsolvable. Show, they slip. Switch, Jokic punishes. Drop, Murray pulls up. Jokic, normal doesn't apply. Versus Memphis, 17 points, 10 boards, 16 assists, plus a half-court buzzer beater. On the season, 29.6, 12.8, 11.1. Vidya game numbers without forcing anything. Every pass is calculated. Teams have tried everything. Double, front, deny, nothing works. Help and he lasers it. Play him straight and he kills you from any spot. He rarely even empties the clip. That's why it's sustainable. After a 12-4 start, he said, "This record lies. We are not that good yet. We need to be consistent." That's a champion talking. They're top tier offensively, around 121.9 rating, and solid defensively. With Jokic orchestrating, Murray attacking, and wings stretching space, few teams can match them across 7 games. Add Watson's defense and Valanciunas' size, it's no longer just Jokic and vibes. Aaron Gordon's return brings back the two-way balance they were missing, stabilizing rotations and allowing matchup-based adjustments again.
Gordon on the step back. Tough shot, but he drills that one. He's got 39.
And Christian Braun's perimeter defense and high motor round out the stability of a complete rotation. The difference? Depth. They can go 10 deep without chaos. When Gordon and Brown return, they'll have 12 real rotation players. They can shapeshift for any matchup. Bigger, more shooting, more defense. At the center, best player on the planet. Co-star back in rhythm. Breakout wing and a bench that doesn't bleed points. Winning on the road, young talent contributing. The West is stacked. OKC defending. Houston added Durant. Wemby rising. Minnesota huge. But nobody else has Jokic at this level and this kind of depth. So, is this the best Denver team we've ever seen? You tell me.